All right, so today I'm going to show you how to do a body morph, and I'm going to turn my player into a carrot. So let's go to the toolbox, and I looked for some carrots. There's a carrot. What's good about this, it doesn't have a lot of stuff. It's just a part in a mesh. If you have a lot of pieces in there, a lot of things can go wrong. So let's go ahead and move this up. This is a perfect candidate. Here we go, up and down. It's looking good. Now that we have our carrot, let's go ahead and make sure it's not anchored and turn Can Collide off. Now let's go to Plugins, Build Rig, R15, Man Rig. Nice. And we'll move them up out of the ground here. Collisions, so you can bump them onto the ground. Turn collisions back off and move them inside your carrot. There we go. Perfect. Close to perfect. There's perfect. Yeah, that'll work. All right, now obviously you have this guy in here, and that's not gonna be very good. So let's make all these parts invisible. All right, so I opened up the dummy, hit left foot, scroll down ahead. Humanoid root part and humanoid are invisible anyway, and make the transparency to all those parts you selected 1. There we go. Now it's invisible, so that's cool. But we need the humanoid so it can move around. And speaking of which, your humanoid root part is probably anchored, which will prevent you from moving. For some reason, they default to anchored when you do it from the rig builder. All right, that's cool. So my giant carrot, it's close to the upper torso, so I'm going to move giant carrot into the upper torso. That's a good place to keep it. And I want to weld it to the upper torso. So hit the plus sign on giant carrot and W, weld constraint. There we go. Click weld constraint, part 1, giant carrot, or part 0, giant carrot, part 1, upper torso. Good. All right, so now it's welded in place. Weld constrainted in place. Another thing I want to do, I'm going to play. I want to get my animate stuff from my character while it's in the workspace. So go to your workspace, not players, but workspace. Find your character, open it up, right click on animate and copy. Turn the game off, go to your dummy, paste into, so that's all the animate stuff. And that'll work seamlessly. So unless you go from like R15 to R6 or something, you might have some trouble. But we're R15 and R15, so that's good. Let's get our dummy. Let's call this carrot. And now I think we're set. Let's move it down to server storage. That's where we're going to clone it from. Let's go get a part. This is going to be our carrot changing pad. So we'll say carrot pad. And let's make it orange, of course. I'll anchor it, turn Can Collide off so I don't trip over it. And we'll do 5 by 0.5 by 5. Let's go ahead and bump it in the ground. Good. That looks good. Yeah. Hit the plus sign, add a script. Call the script morph. All right, that's look good. There we go. Now let's get a reference to the pad. Whoops. Pad equals script.parent. And remember, we have our carrot in server storage. So I'm going to make a reference to server storage. Game get service server storage. And here's our carrot. All right, so server storage, wait for child, carrot. And this carrot needs to be spelled the same as that carrot, or else you'll get an infinite yield. All right, so let's do a function, a local function, call it onMorph. And we'll have other part passed in as an argument. OnMorph is going to be called when we touch the pad. So we're going to get the variable pad touched and connect it to onMorph, right? And that's that carrot pad right there. So when you step on the carrot pad, this will be like a foot or something like that. But just in case it's not, like maybe a ball might roll over it or something like that, let's do a variable for a humanoid root part. And if other part is a foot, the parent will be the character. We'll do a find first child that's a humanoid, whoops, don't forget the D, root part, right? But if it's a ball or something like that, it won't have a humanoid root part. So we're doing if HRP, make sure that this isn't nil, right? So if it doesn't find the humanoid root part, HRP will be nil. So in that case, we don't want to do anything. We're just going to skip right out of the function. I want to get a player because I don't want to morph zombies. So we'll say game players, get player from character. If the HRP exists, this is definitely a character because that's the foot and that's the parent. The parent is the character. Let's put that right in here. But if it's a zombie, it's going to be nil for players. So we'll say if player, then only real players, will there be a value here? But I also don't want to morph if I'm already morphed. So let's go down to our caret server storage. And since we're working with a humanoid root part already, click on that. And in here, add a Boolean value, bool val. All right. I'm going to call this morphed. All right, now it doesn't have to be true or false. I'm just going to look for the presence of the morph flag, right? So if we're a player, we're not going to have it. If we're a caret, we are going to have it. So let's go ahead and find that. We'll look for it anyway. A variable for morphed, and then our HRP has, let's do a find first child, morphed. Right, because we might not find it, so we'll do find first child. That way we'll get a nil if we don't find it. So if it's the player and not morphed, then we'll do morph stuff. We won't do it if either of those are false. So we'll say local caret clone, right, will be the caret, and we'll clone it. Probably could have guessed that. So the caret clone, I'm going to set the name to the player name. Right, and then we're going to get the player's character. We're going to swap that out with the caret clone. Right, and then we need to get the humanoid root part of the caret now. So we'll say caret root part will equal, let's see, caret clone, wait for child, humanoid root part, and then caret root parts C frame will be the HRP C frame. We want to line the caret thing, the caret NPC up right with our player, so when it becomes visible in the world, it's right on top of our player. So let's do our caret clone parent will equal workspace, and we should be set. This should be good. Make sure everything's spelt right. All right, let's play it. Let's get in here. Oh, good. I'm going to get it under 10 minutes. And boom, we are a caret. Cool. And you can pick up a weapon too. So if you go here, we'll go gun. Add a hyper laser there. Oh, come on. There we go. Oh, it's so far away. Bring that close. Don't you know I'm trying to get under 10 minutes here. We got this. There we go. We're caret. And let's pick up our gun. Oh, look at that. We can shoot. We can shoot as a caret. Or we can kill zombies as a caret. All right. So I hope that was helpful, and I will see you in the next video.